Hi, I'm Paul Cruz, the proud superintendent of the Austin Independent School District. And thanks for being with me here today on my Superintendent Chicken, where we provide you with information about the upcoming school year. Today, we're going to talk all things elementary education. And I have one of my colleagues here with me today.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Gilbert Hicks. I'm the Associate Superintendent for Elementary Schools, and I'm so happy to be here today to respond to your questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hicks, for being here with us today to talk about all things that are going on in our elementary schools. And Mr. Hicks has a history here in the Austin School District as a teacher, as administrator, principal, and now associate superintendent. So many successes for Mr. Hicks. So thank you for being here with me today. So one of the questions that comes up is really about instruction, what it's going to look like. So Mr. Hicks, can you let us know what virtual classes, virtual instruction is going to look like?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that question. We're focused on making remote learning and this particular environment that we are in right now have increased rigor and accountability, both two-way accountability and increased academic rigor. So we're developing schedules and instructional expectations in order to accomplish that goal. One of the things that we're going to be sure to do is we can assure parents that all subjects will be taught at the elementary school level during remote instruction, and that includes art, music, and PE and all core subjects. Our teachers are going to focus on teaching something that we call the essential standard, to ensure that all students master what's most important for them to learn in each one of their subjects. We're going to have enhanced routines and procedures for a remote learning setting, and we're going to practice those with students so that they can be successful. We're going to increase the amount of connection and relationship building opportunities between students and teachers. And additionally, we're going to really focus on having kids practice some mastery learning concepts. And what I mean by that is that we're going to have students reflect on their learning by giving them learning guides to help them become more aware of the progress that they're making towards learning those standards that I mentioned earlier, and also keeping track of their social emotional learning as well. Parents, you can be assured that we'll have a combination of synchronous, which are live lessons, and asynchronous, which are not live lessons, every day, so that we can be sure to meet the needs of all families and students. And teachers will provide feedback on student work and also progress monitor students throughout the entire remote process. And finally, we will take grades in every subject on a regular, consistent basis, and we will generate a full report card for you to report out on your child's progress every 9 weeks.
Thank you so much for that information, Mr. Hicks. Many are asking, are we going to have the full array of classes and that elementary school experience? And the answer is yes. It will be different at the beginning, but we'll get back on track and all sort of hold hands as we go through virtual learning opportunities. Some questions that the parents are asking is really around how will they monitor progress? And so what platform will we use for parents to monitor progress and know what's going on with their students' learning?
Very good question. We heard loud and clear that multiple platforms are a concern. And so what we've done is we really distilled our platform down to say that we will use Blend throughout the entire Austin Independent School District. Blend is commercially known as Canvas, if you want to Google that and find out exactly what Blend can do for you. That will be the main platform. But please know that within Blend, teachers will be linking other applications to Blend that can connect with our students, such as Seesaw for our pre-K through 2 students. And for students that don't have access to devices or Wi-Fi for any reason at the beginning of the school year, we are working to make sure that we do provide ample paper-based resources right away at the campuses. But we will continue to distribute devices, and our goal is to have 100% of students with devices as soon as possible, and additional Wi-Fi buses will be provided as well to ensure connectivity.
That's wonderful information, because Wi-Fi is so critical, and having, of course, devices for our students. So if our parents have not yet enrolled their child in our schools, elementary schools, what should they do next?
Okay, well, coming up on August the 3rd through August 6th, we're going to have a curbside registration from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. on those days and 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. You can go to the AISD website, and it's on our main page. You can click on that link for more information about what you would need to have in order to participate in curbside registration most efficiently. But that's mostly for students that are new to Austin ISD. If you are returning students or family to AISD, you can go to the registration information on the main page of the AISD website for online enrollment instructions. It's right there on and receive that information. So,
thank you for that.
Okay, so families, we are very interested in giving you a taste of what remote instruction could look like in this remote instruction environment that we have right now. So we have a video for you right now that we would like to queue up and show you.
Let's look at this story, Rent Party Jazz by William Miller. Let's start with the title, Rent Party Jazz. Do you know what rent is? I think we all know what a party is. And jazz is a kind of music. Did you know that? Have you ever heard of a rent party? Let's look at the pictures on this page to get some clues about the story. I see happy people dancing. I see a man playing a trumpet. And now I'm going to tell you some background information about rent parties. Rent parties were a real thing. They happened in African American communities, usually in big cities like New York or Chicago. People were not being paid very well, and the rents were high. So sometimes they couldn't pay the rent. They got an idea to help each other. They would have a party, and everybody would bring a little bit of money. There would be music, and there would be dancing, and very often there would be food and drink. That means that rent parties are a part of the African American history and culture. There are even songs about this. Listen to House Rent Rag.
Awesome. Great, great information around elementary schools, elementary education. Thank you so much, Mr. Hicks, for being here with me today on my superintendent check-in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So the information that Mr. Hicks has shared with us will be on our AISD website. So we have information around items presented today and other information as well as we approach the upcoming school year. Thank you so much for joining me in the superintendent check-in. Thank you.